Wish you'd tell me what's engraved on that anklet.
Just my name.
As for instance?
Phyllis.
Phyllis. I think I like that.
But you're not sure?
Well, I'd have to drive around the block a couple times.
Mr. Neff, why don't you drop by tomorrow evening about 8:30? He'll be in town then.
Who?
My husband. You were anxious to talk to him, weren't you?
Well, sure, only getting over it all, if you know what I mean.
There's a speed limit in this state, Mr. Neff. 45 miles an hour?
Well, how fast was I going, officer?
I'd say about 90.
Well, suppose you get down off your motorcycle and give me a ticket.
Suppose I let you off with a warning this time.
Well, suppose it doesn't take.
Suppose I have to whack you over the knuckles.
Well, suppose I bust out crying and have to put my head on your shoulder.
Suppose you try putting it on my husband's shoulder.
Well, that tears it. 8:30 tomorrow evening then, Miss Dietrichson.
That's what I suggested.
Will you be there too?
I guess so. I usually am.
Same chair, same perfume, same anklet?
I wonder if I know what you mean.
I wonder if you wonder.
I wish you'd tell me what's engraved on that anklet.
Just my name.
As for instance?
Phyllis.
Phyllis. I think I like that.
But you're not sure?
I'd have to drive it around the block a couple of times.
Mr. Neff, why don't you drop by tomorrow evening about 8:30? He'll be in then.
Who?
My husband. You were anxious to talk to him, weren't you?
Sure, only if I'm getting over a little, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, there's a speed limit in this state, Mr. Neff. 45 miles an hour.
How fast was I going, officer?
I'd say about 90.
Suppose you get down off your motorcycle and give me a ticket.
Well, suppose I let you off with a warning this time.
Suppose it doesn't take.
Suppose I have to whack you over the knuckles.
Suppose I bust out crying and put my head on your shoulder.
Suppose you try putting it on my husband's shoulder.
That tears it. 8:30 tomorrow evening then, Mrs. Dietrichson?
That's what I suggested.
Will you be there too?
I guess so. Usually am.
Same chair, same perfume, same anklet?
I wonder if I know what you mean.
I wonder if you wonder. So I let her have it, right between the eyes. She didn't fool me, not this time. I knew I had hold of a hot red poker, and the time to drop it was before it burnt my hand off. I stopped at a drive-in for a bottle of beer, the one I had wanted all along. But now I wanted it even worse, to get rid of the sour taste of her iced tea in my mouth, and everything that went with it. I didn't want to go back to the office. So I dropped by the bowling alley on 3rd and Western and bowled a few lines to get my mind thinking about something else for a while. I didn't feel like eating dinner when I left. And I didn't feel like a show. So I drove home, put the car away, and went up to my apartment. It had begun to rain outside, and I watched it get dark and didn't even turn on the light. That didn't help me either. I was all twisted up inside, and I still had that hot red poker. And right then, came over me that I hadn't walked out on anything at all. The hook was too strong. That this wasn't the end between her and me. It was just the beginning. So at 8 o'clock, the bell would ring, and I would know who it was without even having to think, as if it was the most natural thing in the world.